My name is David Abbott, and I used to be an environmental inspector, a home environmental inspector. People came to me when no one else could help them with their health issues, and I did help many of them. And now I need your help so I can keep helping people. Let me give you some examples of my work. Amy had short-term memory loss, and she kept getting respiratory infections, and her doctor didn't know why. He had her on cycles of antibiotics, a steroid inhaler, and a bronchodilating inhaler, but the drugs weren't really helping. As soon as she quit taking the antibiotics, the infections came back, and her short-term memory wasn't coming back. I identified 2 chemical toxins in her apartment and showed her how to get rid of them. Amy's doctor agreed with everything that I wrote in my report, and within a month of following my recommendations, Amy's short-term memory returned, and she was getting better grades in college with less effort, and her respiratory infections disappeared and didn't come back. Her doctor took her off all the meds, and I'm telling you, it really made me feel good to help Amy. In another case, an entire family had to go to the hospital emergency room several times for respiratory problems, and the doctors didn't know why they were so sick. I found that the parents were using 5 highly toxic insect poisons in and around their house every week. And those insect poisons are known to cause the symptoms that everyone in that family had. Many of my clients have recovered their health when they stopped using toxic products that anyone can buy in any grocery store or hardware store. A woman asked me why she had asthma attacks every night. When I saw candles in her bedroom and black soot stains on the ceiling, I said, burning candles exposes you to microfine particles of soot and oil that clog the pores in your throat and lungs, making breathing more difficult, especially for people who have asthma. When she stopped burning candles, she had fewer asthma attacks at night. And you know, it's really wonderful when just one little bit of information help someone improve their health. A woman asked me if I could help her mother, who was dying of brain cancer. And when I inspected the house, I found that in an effort to keep moths out of the house, they had been using a lot of mothballs. The entire house was filled with the odor of mothballs. That type of mothball is a brain poison that causes cancer. Now, common sense tells us that when a person has brain cancer, you don't expose them, or you shouldn't expose them, to chemicals that are known to cause brain cancer. This is, as they say, a no-brainer. That case was really tragic, because even though they stopped using the mothballs, it was too late to save their mother. The client had crippling back pain, and she didn't understand why her doctor's advice to lay flat on the floor and put her legs up on her bed was actually making the pain worse instead of making it better. Her doctor told her that it would mechanically relieve the stress on her lower back and help with the pain, but it wasn't. What I found was that laying on the floor was exposing her to the heavier-than-air layer of nerve toxins that was coming out of her new carpeting, because new carpets are made with up to 130 toxic chemicals in them, and some of them are nerve toxins. So years of chronic back pain had stressed and weakened the nerves in her back, And so when she laid on the floor, her back pain got worse because those nerves were probably the most sensitive nerves in her whole body because of the years of chronic pain. And so those nerves were the ones that reacted first and reacted the most. She told her doctor what I said. She showed him my written report, and he agreed with everything that I said. She had the carpet removed, and then when she laid on her back and put her legs up on her bed, her back pain did improve, and it's another example of why household toxicology is an important adjunct or addition to the medical discipline, because doctors don't have time to make house calls, and they don't have time to get the training in household toxicology. Doctors at a major university hospital didn't know why a girl had a severe grand mal seizure, and they didn't know whether she would have more seizures. They prescribed a very powerful drug that had serious side effects, but the girl refused to take it, so her parents called me. I found 4 common household and lawn care products in their house and garage that contain nerve toxins. I advised them to tell the doctors and to get rid of the chemicals. And when the girl's parents told the doctors about the nerve toxins, the doctors said, those chemicals can cause seizures. Get rid of them. I talked with her parents about 8 years after that, and they said that they had gotten rid of the chemicals and that their daughter had not had any more seizures, that she was perfectly healthy and perfectly well adjusted and doing fine in school. Again, these cases really made me feel good, and they still make me feel good when I think back on them. The Mayo Clinic didn't know why a woman got brain lesions that forced her to take an early retirement, and they didn't know what she should do about the symptoms. I asked her if she was using one type of toxic chemical. She said she was, and I advised her not to. And when she quit using that chemical, for the first time in years, her condition stabilized and stopped getting worse. I really loved doing this work. It was like being a house detective. But the chemicals and the mold in my clients' houses started harming me, having a really strong effect on me. I got joint pain and headaches, and one of the headaches was so bad that I couldn't eat solid food for a month. I had to stop doing consultations, and that was really frustrating for me because people kept calling me, and I couldn't help them. I wanted my knowledge and my training, my experience to keep helping people. Looking back on the consultations that I had done, I realized that if my clients had had the right set of basic information about indoor air quality and related subjects, 95% of them could have solved their own household toxicology problems themselves without needing me to come to their houses. So, I spent several years writing a book based on my experience. And there it is. My book includes many case histories from my career in household toxicology. There are chapters identifying common environmental problems in living rooms, kitchens, bathrooms, bedrooms, basements, attics, crawl spaces, attached garages. I show safe, effective, and usually very inexpensive ways to deal with these problems. And there's information on furniture, appliances, air cleaners, vacuum cleaners, chemical toxins, mold, pollen, dust, and information on cleaning and disinfecting products and other consumer goods. I need your help in getting this book published. I wanted to do on-demand self-publishing so I can make the book available to the public quickly without waiting 1 or 2 or more years for a traditional publishing house to accept the manuscript and work their way through it and finally publish it and make it available. And also, as I learn new information, which I'm always doing, I wanted to be able to add it to the next copy of the book that I sell, rather than waiting for a new edition to be printed after I've sold the 10,000 books that have already been printed. Also, another problem with on-demand publishing is that the books are typically very poor quality, and the pages can fall out of them, and on-demand publishing costs so much money that it's almost impossible to make any money selling the books. So I studied bookbinding, and I found a method called double fan binding that makes very high quality books that I can be proud of, books that will last for many years of good use. If you donate money to me, I will use it for a high-quality printer that will bring down my cost per page of printing the book, and for binding equipment that will allow me to put the books together quickly, efficiently, and professionally, and for bookmaking supplies like paper and binding glue. If you donate at least $20, when I get the book printed, I will send you a copy with my thanks. And if you wish, I will put my thanks to you personally in the back of each copy of the book that I print. So, thank you for watching my video, and I hope you will help me to keep helping people. Please send money to help me publish my book. Thank you.